What's up, guys? This is your boy here, Bam Bam Grizzly. So weird thing today. I know the beta for Cycle Frontier is coming out today. I think it's the second beta they're doing, if I remember correctly. I know it's getting ready to come out today. And the weird part is, and I've been following the game for a very long time. Before it was Frontier. Not saying anything bad. I'm actually really liking Frontier. I did very much enjoy also the original game too. I want to say that right now. I think the original game, they should have released it maybe as something different. I think Frontier should either been maybe a spin-off or something, but I know they completely aborted the original game. It seems like I have not been able to really find it anywhere. But they aborted the original game. And then I know they've been working on Frontier. This is just from what I've seen. You know, I haven't read too much deep into it, but I have been keeping an eye on the game for a while. You know, from a distance. I did like the original game. So, you know, this is kind of I want to show you guys the original trailer for the cycle before it became Cycle Frontier. Let's go ahead and look at this real quick. What's up? Okay, so again, this is back when it was less about almost a horror type Tarkov's deal, where it was slow and gritty and you know how it is now, and back when it was more the original game, which is like how do I put this, more I guess a good feeling mix between a battle royale, not even just a battle royale is what they would call it before. It was a PvPvE battle royale. So it kind of had a feeling mix between Fortnite and, how else should I put it? I guess like a bit of feeling between Fortnite and I guess like any other battle royale. And I think that's and like any other battle royale, I guess, really. And I think that's why they did what they did to the game. They didn't like people comparing their game to Fortnite continuously, because Fortnite's a kid's game, and this game is, I think they wanted to get away from that more, so I can't fault them that they changed their not the IP, but they changed the game and wanted to do something different. I'm totally okay with that. I have no qualms against it. I actually enjoy the new game as much as I enjoy the old game. I just wish they would have kept both, but I for some reason they felt both couldn't exist. So real quick here, let me bring up the original trailer. This is one from 2019, from 2019.
Welcome, prospectors, to Fortuna 3, your fortune-filled playground, swarming with hostile alien wildlife. And of course, other prospectors who want what you want, and this is their idea of fun. The weather on Fortuna is a little bit unstable. Say hello to the cycle. A devastating...
You see the first thing right there too is they had vehicles. I have not seen vehicles yet in the new one. Maybe they are going to put vehicles in it. I am not really sure, but I don't feel like they will, due to it being more slow pace. So
weather anomaly that will obliterate any life forms not native to the planet, and that means you. You better be sure to escape before it eats you alive. So is the cycle just another battle royale? Not even close. Yes, we have multiplayer matches. Yes, you are on borrowed time. Yes, we have guns, lots of them. We have shiny skins and fancy dance moves, and even a mini-map. And sometimes, memory leaks. Nobody's perfect. But we offer so much more, prospectors. The challenge is real.
That's back with actually being able to kill these monsters. Like, I don't know if you guys have played the Frontier yet, or if you're just checking out this video for the first time, but back then you could actually kill these monsters with any weapon. It didn't take a billion bullets. It just took, you know, enough well-placed shots. So keep that in mind.
There's a shit ton of monsters to face. To help you, we provide awesome abilities. Ever heard of the snare trap? Or the heavy turret? Imagine the havoc when you combine the two. Sweet, sweet mayhem. We even got wheels. Strike a pact with other prospectors and face the dangers of Fortuna 3 together, or double-cross them and stab them in the back. It's up to you. And these are the contracts offered by the various factions. Complete the most contracts, escape.
So as you can see, there's a lot of things that are actually the same. but there are a lot of differences too. Like pacing is number one. The feel of the environment, it's much more detailed now, much more I think gritty. Whereas this is more colorful and pops and as it feels.
And you win. So you do PvE and PvP at the same time, and you haven't seen the half of it. The cycle is not a battle royale. That's why we call it PvEVP, or in the long form, free-to-play, player versus environment versus player, first-person competitive quest shooter, Royale.
Okay, so some things to talk about real quick in this. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep interrupting the video, but I have a lot of things to say. Number one, the game wasn't bad before. It just wasn't doing as well as I think they had inherently hoped it would do. So, like, which is grounds if you're a small developer, a small development team, or an indie studio to, you know, try to figure out ways to make the game more, you know, appealing. So I guess what they must have thought, and this is just my personal opinions and thoughts here, is they must have thought, wow, you know, this game isn't doing as well, maybe because the genre is so oversaturated, not even just genre, but just the general idea might be so oversaturated, or it's just not working, because it seems like they kind of tried to go a different way with the game. They tried to make it PvPvE, and which in my opinion, is very similar to Hunt Showdown, how their gameplay mechanics are. Which is great, because I love Hunt Showdown. I think it's a phenomenal game, and I think that's why I enjoyed this. But Hunt Showdown is actually much slower, too. So, you know, this game is much more fast-paced. And I feel like these fast-paced games, you know, there are so many of them that are like that, like Fortnite and, sorry, my brain's crapping out. Fortnite and, you know, Call of Duty, and, you know, they have Apex, you know, things like that, which are much more competitive and have, you know, a much more set in stone player base. So it's, you know, I feel like they were trying to come onto a scene in an area that was very well saturated, to whereas like now they've gone from like, okay, well, this isn't working, let's change it up and try something new. And so I have no fault of their own. I think, you know, what they did was smart. You know, I don't hate on them for that. I know a lot of people who played the original are very, you know, salty when it comes to what they did, and I am not. I am okay with it, you know, like, as long as the game's good and you look at it from a whole different game than what it used to be, it's a good game. It really is. Like, it's slow paced. If you like Tarkov, you will definitely like this. If you like slow paced games, even, you know, it's not quite before where you would jump around the map, you would collect materials and you know, relics and things like that, and you would do small missions and basically try to build up more points before the other teams, before the storm came. And then you'd have to board the ship, and, you know, you get points for boarding the ship, and most likely at the end what would happen is it'd be like turned into like a little arena around the ship where everyone's battling to either get on the ship or clear out the infestation, and that's pretty much when it gets to the real, like, battle royale feel at the end, you know what I mean? The rest of it's kind of like if you happen to run into somebody along the way, you'd kind of either fight them or leave them or friend them, you know, and then you would continue to move on, and you would have to fight aliens along the way. So if you went to like what these crystals right here, what would happen is you would go up to this crystal, drop this on it, it would mine it, and while you're mining it, the monsters would pop up around it. It's almost like a mini quest mission, and hopefully no players would fuck with you while you were doing this, you know. So that's that. Now I feel, now I've seen it, it's kind of like you walk up to it with a pickaxe and you just beat it with a pickaxe till you get everything you need. Your space is limited, so it's no longer just, you know, doing mini missions or mini quests while you're trying to outpoint the other team or kill the other team and finish. Now you're actually trying to like gain materials and stuff like that for money, and then build money up and go out there with better gear. Kind of like just like Tarkov, really. I mean, it's also not just like Tarkov. I think it's also more huntish like now, more Hunt Showdown too, because in Hunt Showdown you do the same thing to an extent, except you're not getting a new prospect every time. You're just getting more weapons because you become foamed, is what they call it. So before, what would happen too is you would die twice before you became foamed. So on your second death, you would be foamed. To where now it's like you just become foamed after you die. You go back to the space, you lose all your gear on your body. So, which is cool. Like again, I like it. So now that we watch this, we're gonna kind of go back, and I want to show you what we're looking at now here. Back out of this. This is what it is now. Well, let me fucking pause that real quick at least. See, I had to really search for this too, by the way, for this particular video. This video was released August 20th, 2019. So, and remember, 74,000 views. Let's watch this. 325,000. Can you see that? 325,000 views. This was released, what, 2019? So it's like 4 years ago almost? 3-4 years. This is all the views it got. This game didn't really get much of a following. Like, I mean, yeah, it had a dedicated player base, but nowhere near the following that, look at, 74,000 views, 325,000 views. Come on, guys. Do you see why they did what they did? Are you really that mad that they're trying to make a better game? Not only a better game, I feel so far that they are going to stick to their promise of no, what do you call it? Non-pay to win, which, you know, they'll probably just dump skins and stuff like every other shooter game does, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. As long as they keep the game not pay to win, I am totally okay with it. I think they'll do what they did before, where it was free to play, and they'll just live off of skin. So let's go ahead and watch the second video. This is the other release trailer for Frontier. Or the release trailer for Frontier. Whole different game. All right, so as you can see there, guys, much of a big difference. Very big difference. More gritty, more dark, more of a horror feel. You know, monsters everywhere on a planet's surface, and you're just trying to survive. You know, it's a whole. They propositioned it as a whole different game. Changed the way it looks. You know, better colors. Not quite as vibrant. So it's in the long run, it's just. It's almost like a whole different game. Like, you know, the only thing that's the same is probably just the characters, the IP, the ideas. I guess it's more called IP if I'm correct. So it's not a bad game. Again, like if you really like the slow-paced Tarkov style shooters, or even Hunt Showdown type shooters, you will truly enjoy it. And again, when I say Hunt Showdown, I mean like slow-paced. You know, when you lose stuff, not slow, not hunt. And then when I said Hunt Showdown before, I meant in the fact is like it's player versus environment. So like it still has like some elements of that Hunt Showdown feel, but not the same as it did before with the game was before. So just remember that. I keep to kind of reiterate on that real quick, because I know I said that and I want to make sure I kind of explained myself on that. But I think you should play the game. I think you should check it out. I think you would really enjoy it. This is just my feels on it, and this is coming from someone who played the original cycle. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and check out the beta when it releases today. If I think you need to sign up for it, so just a heads up. When the game does release, I know you'll enjoy it. Take care, and have a wonderful day.